Hello! Today I'm doing a video that I have wanted to do for a very long time. It is very long awaited. However, the contents of this video just keep growing, so I didn't really know when to do it, but now's the time. Today I am finally doing a video all about my Sherlock Holmes collection. This is just my book collection. I do have a lot of memorabilia, merch, if you will, as well, but this is just solely books, which is enough in itself. I currently own 14 different editions, copies, whatever, of Sherlock Holmes. What can I say? I'm also wearing one of my Sherlock Holmes shirts. Look! I don't know if you can see that. It's awesome. As you can probably tell, I love Sherlock Holmes. I love Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I've actually accidentally memorized like the first or two paragraphs of A Scandal in Bohemia. Because I have to be honest, I don't really know which story is considered the first story because in every edition it's different, but A Scandal in Bohemia seems to be the most common first story in any bind-up of Sherlock Holmes stories. I'm doing so bad at this. This wasn't even an intentional collection I started. It just kind of kept piling up after my grandma gave me her copy of Sherlock Holmes. I then wanted a pretty copy of Sherlock Holmes, then I found another pretty copy, then my grandma found a cool used copy, and then I just realized I should just start collecting them. My wallet doesn't agree with it, but I do. I love it. So I think I'm going to start with all my new copies, new editions of it versus my used ones just because I have more newer ones, if you know what I mean. So let's start with my most recent buy. Then after that there's absolutely no rhyme or reason to what I'm picking. And that edition is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and Other Stories, obviously Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It's so gorgeous. It has his silhouette in the middle, basically just made up of a bunch of little Sherlock things. It has London on the bottom, it's outlined in gold. The pages are all gold. It has the same thing on the back. The spine is in gold. Like, everything about this is just so pretty. This was from Barnes & Noble, I believe, and it was probably on sale because I really do only buy these books if they're on sale because if not, they can be pretty pricey. I didn't even notice this! And this is the back inside cover. Next, I have The Complete Sherlock Holmes Volume 2 by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, published by Signature Editions, and it has B&N right here. So is it like does B&N own them? I did want Volume 1, obviously, just because, I don't know, for me it makes more sense to have Volume 1 over Volume 2, but they didn't have it, and it's just so different, this edition. I have nothing like it. It's, first of all, very green. The edges are cut in that cool, like, pattern, so they're all, what do you call this, ridged? But this is honestly just such a unique edition that I have not seen anything really like it. I have a lot of editions that are very pretty and gold and leather bound or fake leather bound. I don't know what it is about this that really drew my eye. I think it's the green mist, to be honest. And this, obviously, as it has Barnes & Noble on it all over the place, was also from Barnes & Noble. A lot of these are from Barnes & Noble. Next, I actually have a bit of a different Sherlock Holmes book, and that is How to Think Like Sherlock Holmes by Daniel Smith. It says, improve your powers of observation, memory, and deduction. I actually forgot I owned this, and I really wanted to read it, and now that I kind of remember that I own it, I really want to read it again. This book shows you how to detect lies, recognize nonverbal clues, improve your concentration, strengthen your memory, listen closely, read faster, keep an open and agile mind, trust your intuition, think laterally, and learn from mistakes. It's very short, but I was so drawn to this. I really, really want to read it now. I remember at the time I did not have any time to read it, but now I kind of really want to. Of course, if you've read any of the Sherlock stories, if you have seen the show Sherlock, you probably, at one point in your life, have thought, I really want to think like Sherlock. And there's a book all about how to. That's so cool. That's so cool. Also, from Barnes & Noble, there's a bit of a theme going, isn't there? Most of these new books are definitely from Barnes & Noble. Next, I have such a gorgeous edition. I'm obsessed with it. And that is The Greatest Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. 44 short stories. Includes A Study in Scarlet, The Sign of the Four, The Hound of Baskerville. I said that really weird. The Valley of Fear and 44 short stories. It's just like the Green Mist one. I have all these super out there and such pretty editions. And this one, I think I can't pick a favorite. Well, blue is my favorite color, and this definitely has a very blue signature to it. Oh, it's so pretty and blue. I probably would read this edition because it's easy to carry around. However, the words are just so small, and that is my Achilles heel with reading is small print. And this is published by Fall River and also from Barnes & Noble. The used editions are much more diverse in where I got them. I'm obsessed with this. I just want to look at this all day. It only gets better from here. Next, I have something that's very exciting, and that is Sherlock Chronicles by Steve Tribe. The ultimate behind-the-scenes look at the making of the hit series Sherlock. As you might have been able to guess from my obsession with Sherlock Holmes, the show Sherlock is one of my all-time favorite shows. And it comes back in January. It comes back in January. And I'm so excited. First of all, the hiatus between seasons. Oh man. The hiatus between seasons of Sherlock is ridiculous. I feel like I've been waiting eons. But the special episode was insane. I remember me and my friend watched it like the day after it aired, and we had to pause it so many times I lost count just to sit there and think through what had just happened and then just talk to each other for 10 minutes about what had just happened. I'm so excited. Look at the inside cover. Oh, it's so cute. So this is the mailman's here. The dogs really like him. So this is just I hate myself. This is just like a movie companion for a movie. A bunch of stuff about Sherlock. So the front is our favorite Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock, with Sherlock and Watson running on the front. And the back is our favorite Martin as Watson, with Sherlock and Watson running inside. Oh, and it says the game is never over. I never realized that. I love owning these kinds of books, at least just for my collection. I have, what movie companions do I have? Obviously The Hunger Games, City of Bones, and I have a Divergent one. I love movie companions. The complete Sherlock Holmes. I don't know who this is published by. Barnes & Noble? Again? What? This has to be the most gorgeous edition I've ever seen. The intricacy of it is insane. It's accented all in gold. The back, can we talk about the back? I could study the back for hours. It's so gorgeous, and it only gets better because the inside, first of all, is plaid. Even just the title page is so nice. The pages are all trimmed in gold. I love when they include just a bunch of very Sherlocky things like 221B, Britain, the armchair SH, the top hat. I have to say, honestly, the Hounds of Baskerville, the Sherlock episode, was so scary the first time I watched it because I watched it at night on a big TV. Actually, the special edition was really creepy too. We watched that in the middle of the night and we were not expecting it to be as creepy as it was. And this still has the bargain price sticker on it because I buy all these when they're on sale. Oh man. So this is the next edition. This is The Rivals of Sherlock Holmes, a collection of Victorian detective tales, compiled by Stefan Diz. Let me try to read through the little sticker. I'm sorry, I can't. With an introduction by Leslie S. Kingser. I can't read through the sticker. I was actually a bit confused when I saw this and I read The Rivals of Sherlock Holmes. I'm like, his nemesis is? But it's actually classic stories in the tradition of Arthur Conan Doyle's Tales of Sherlock Holmes by G.K. Chesterton, Ernest Bram, R. Austin Freeman, and others. It's just stories like Sherlock Holmes, which is really cool and very different, and I also have yet to read this. But I think it'll be so cool to read and just cool to have in my collection. I thought it was really unique. This is also gorgeous. It's also very green, but just the illustrations are so nice. And they have a very Victorian-esque to them, which I really appreciate. And lastly, for my newer editions of Sherlock Holmes, my amazing, amazing mom got me this for Christmas last year. I'm not gonna be able to lift it, probably. It's so heavy, first of all. This gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous box set of Sherlock Holmes stories. I can't describe it enough. I don't know how to. Oh my god! I love it! Oh, a trusty comrade is always of use. and what a man may do in the future is a hard question to answer. It has his pipe! It has his pipe! The back has his hat, and it says, "Come Watson, come, the game is afoot, and I'm glad of all details, whether they seem to you to be relevant or not." And then on the other side, "The world is full of obvious things which nobody by any chance ever observes, and it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence." You can open it like this, or you can open it like this, and see all the editions. And we have this inside cover. We have Sherlock smoking his pipe on this one in blue. The side. The pages are blue. Volume 2 is silver. The side is silver. The back is silver. It says Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes and the Hounds of Baskerville. This is in gold. The pages are gold. The back is gold. This is the side. This is The Return of Sherlock Holmes and The Valley of Fear. And it has him thoughtfully looking across, guessing the Thames? I don't know. And the last one is like this dark chocolate brown. The pages are brown, the back is brown, the spine is gorgeous. This is his last bow and the casebook of Sherlock Holmes. Once again, he's smoking a pipe. He's gonna get lung cancer. If you are curious as to where this is from, I will actually find out. Oh, I didn't even look at the top. Look at the top. Now, let's move on to my used editions of Sherlock Holmes. I think it's fitting to start with the first one I ever got, and that is the one my grandmother gave me. You can see it is very beat up and very well loved. It doesn't tell me when this particular edition was published, but my grandma had this for a very long time, and it meant a lot to me that she gave this to me and started my collection with this. This is actually also the first one I read. I don't know how though, because there's a lot of small print in here. Next, I have this little edition, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and it's so small, and I'm guessing this was like a mass market paperback. The pages are so weathered, and look at the spine, it's so yellow. So this was published in 1970, I'm assuming from what I read. These are like kind of much more complicated than ours now. It's just so cute and I love it, and I don't remember where I got it. Some used bookstore somewhere. This is probably my like best kept used edition. I don't really know how to describe it, but it is the classic illustrated Sherlock Holmes, and I believe this is actually the second one I ever got. It was published in 1987, so it is newer than all of those. I think the illustrations on the cover and the back are just so cool and illustrated so differently. And I believe there are illustrations all throughout the book, which is so neat. I believe I tried to read this one and the print was too small. Next, I have Volume 1 and Volume 2 of The Complete Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, prefaced by Christopher Morley. My friend actually was so sweet and gave these to me last year for my birthday. She got them some bookstore in the South, starts with an M. Don't remember what it's called. But they're so orange and so different. It's so cool. On the back it has a black and white picture and it says, "A glimpse into Holmes' flat at 221B Baker Street. This replica shows the room as it might have looked if the famous detective had just left hurriedly in hot pursuit of some new villain." That's so cool. There's a note on the inside! Fun fact about me, I love when there are notes on the insides of used books. If you ever get me a book, feel free to write the date and a note on the inside. I think it's so cute and so cool. It says, "To Josh from Mom and Dad, November 26, 1988. Here's to the mysteries of life. May you find your answers." That's so cute! Next, I have such an interesting copy, and I actually got this from a used bookstore right around the corner from me. And it is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by A. Conan Doyle. And this is like, what? So old. The pages are like not even just orange, they're brown. They're like flaky, they're so thin. Oh, and there's a note on the inside. It says, "Merry Christmas to Frank from Gracie, December 25th, 94. Wait, what? This was published in 1892. 1892. I have a book from the 1800s on my shelf. And I obviously looked at the publication date right when I got it, but I forgot. I get a lot of Sherlock Holmes books. And lastly, we have my newest purchase, which was also bought at the same little bookstore down the road. And it was so funny. Me and my friend were walking around and I was like, I remember buying a Sherlock Holmes book from here. Why can't I find any in all of these classic shelves they have? And we turn a corner and there is this entire little bookshelf just dedicated to Sherlock Holmes. There were so many copies. And I bought this one because it's gorgeous. It has this cool reddish pattern on the front, and then it's like, what's that called? Like a wax seal when you have wax and then you stamp it. It kind of reminds me of that for some reason. It slightly sticks out, this little portrait of Sherlock Holmes, and it has VR on all the corners. I don't really know what that means. We thought, could that be the publisher? I don't know. And the pages are also speckled with brown paint, which is so cool. And there's a note inside. It says, "For Alan, Christmas 1959. And there's this little slip of paper. It looks like it could maybe be from the Strand, like Watson's writings. I think it might actually be from another book because it doesn't fit this one. And this was published in 1950. I love books that were published a long time ago. It's just so interesting to me. Like, these books have been through a lot and I'm still able to hold them all these years later. But that is my collection of Sherlock Holmes by the one and only Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I'm so proud of this collection and it will only keep growing, so I'll probably have to do updates up for this video sometime in the future, which will be fine. I'm fine with that. I just feel so lucky to be able to collect something that means so much to me. And I love it and I'm so proud of it. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!